one of the things they're going to find is an understanding, according to you, of perhaps what all mothers need. All mothers need an identity separate from that of mother to my children. For you, the fact that writing was available to you because of your husband, in a way, his understanding that you needed this other identity. And he supported you from day one, even though he had been through one marriage that collapsed, partly due to literary competition.
And not only that, I gave a toast at our wedding where I stood up in front of all the assembled guests and I raised a champagne glass and I said, I hereby swear before you all that I will never become a writer. I will always have health insurance and I will always support my husband and never try to compete with him. And then lo and behold, 2 years later, I'm trapped at home and I'm thinking, what is something that I can do here at home that could actually be a job? It was like I needed something in my life that my kids couldn't have access to. When you're a mother of small children, everything you have is theirs. They drink the foam off your latte.
That's right.
You have nothing that's your own. And I thought there were two things that I could think of that I could do that they would have no access to. And one of them was smoking cigarettes. And since I did not want to do that, I decided I had no choice but to write.
Was he the smoker, right?
Exactly.
What a healthy choice.
Don't you? I think it was a very life-affirming decision, frankly.
You're an organic mother.
I am.
That's all there is to it. You're also a mother who knows something about a program, I guess one would call it, that I had never heard of. And I'm so glad you introduced me to it because I laughed like crazy. The program I'm referring to is attachment parenting.
Oh, yes.
A belief system. A kind of religion, said
Absolutely.
one commentator.
Absolutely. Attachment parenting, here in the Bay Area, there are lots of people who practice attachment parenting. And in other places like Park Slope in Brooklyn, there are lots of them in areas in Massachusetts. Here's the thing. I think the vast majority of people who practice attachment parenting are lovely, wonderful people who don't view it as a religion that they have to proselytize. There is, however, a sizable minority of attachment parenting people who believe that if you don't do it that they do, i.e. if you don't wear your baby on your body at all time, if you say, let your baby ride
for the whole first year of the baby's life,
exactly.
If you do anything less, it is child abuse.
Absolutely. I've actually had women tell me that the bottoms of your baby's feet should not touch the ground before the baby's a year old. I mean, it's lunacy. And you're supposed to sleep with your baby and you're supposed to breastfeed your baby forever. And I actually, I will say this in my defense. I did breastfeed one baby till he was almost 3, not willingly. I would have stopped a lot earlier, but he was a very, he's even more stubborn than I am. But I'm always falling foul of the attachment parenting mothers. I'm always doing. I remember once standing in Walgreens, and so I'm standing there. I'm hugely pregnant. I'm holding a toddler, and I have 2 other kids running around, and I am buying swim diapers. You know those disposable diapers you put on your baby so that when they poop in the pool, the entire city doesn't need to be evacuated. And we were going on vacation. And this woman comes up and taps me on the shoulder and she says, those are available in a non-disposable brand.
Oh,
and I looked at her and I thought, and I said, because guess what I'm not going to do on my last vacation before this baby is born? Scrape out that non-disposable diaper after every visit to the pool. But, hey, if you want to come and do it for me, by all means. So, yeah.
She wasn't willing.
She was neither willing nor particularly pleased with my reproach. But the thing about living in Berkeley is that it gets kind of contagious. I mean, you start to become that kind of scolding, particularly around motherhood. I remember one of my kids had mercury poisoning as a result of eating too much tuna fish. And I remember standing one day in a grocery store and seeing this pregnant woman, putting cans of tuna in her cart and rushing up to her and launching into this whole sort of diatribe about tuna and mercury. And at one point I said, look at her, and she's kind of inching away from me. And I thought, oh, now I'm one of them.
You are. That was a wonderful scene. And you admitted you're one of them.
Absolutely.
Okay.